The fifth process of the build, acquire and implement domain, called Manage Organizational Change Enablement, has 7 practices. The first practice is to establish the desire to change. From a RACI charts perspective, the entities that are responsible include the board, the business executives, and the strategy executive committee. The entity that is held accountable is the chief executive officer. The practice receives several inputs, which include the results of service quality from the APO11 process, the requirements definition repository from the BAI2 process, and the approved high-level design specification from the BAI3 process. The practice generates 2 outputs, which are the communications of drivers for change, and the communications from executive management committing to change, both to be used internally. The activities involved in this practice include assessing the scope and impact of the expected change and understanding what the stakeholders require. The current readiness and ability to change should be estimated. The organization's risks, negative customer feedbacks, pain points, and business problems should be identified and communicated. The desire to change should be established based on the expected benefits and future opportunities. The chief executive officer should sponsor the commitment to change, and senior management should act as a leader for the change. The second practice is to form an effective implementation team. The entities that are responsible include the Project Management Office, the Chief Information Officer, and the Head of IT Development. The entity that is held accountable is the business executives. The practice receives 1 input, which is the acceptance criteria from stakeholders, from the BAI2 process. It generates 2 outputs, which are the implementation team and roles, and the vision and goals, both to be used by the BAI1 process. The activities involved in this practice include assembling an implementation team composed of members from IT and the business. The team should be granted the appropriate amount of time and should have the adequate knowledge and experience. If needed, external parties could be included within the team, which allows for independent views of the projects. Other business and IT personnel should be communicated with as the team sees fit. Trust should be developed between the team members, and common vision and goals should be established. The third practice is to communicate the desired vision. The entities that are responsible are the business executives, the strategy executive committee, and the chief information officer. The entity that is held accountable is the chief executive officer. The practice receives no inputs, but generates 2 outputs, which are the vision communication plan, and the vision communications, both to be used by the BAI1 process. The activities involved in this practice include developing a vision communication plan that specifies that intended audiences and their information requirements. Communication should be provided based on the plan, and it should be ensured that the desired change is understood. Any issues raised by the relevant personnel should be addressed, and the management should be accountable for demonstrating this vision.